Hi, this is George Alger with the Two Green Energy Video Report, and I'm speaking with Craig Shields, who is the author of Renewable Energy Facts and Fantasies, a #1 best-selling energy book on Amazon. Hello, Craig.
Hi, George.
All right, so Craig, we're speaking about varieties of your favorite investment opportunities.
Right.
And in this particular segment, we want to talk about synthetic fuels.
Right.
All right, so paint the picture for us.
Well, when we talk about renewable energy, generally we're talking about intermittency. We're talking about things like the sun not shining all the time and the wind not blowing all the time. So we're looking for a way of storing that energy and deploying it cost effectively. So there are various ways that have been contemplated to do this. One of them is to take all this off-peak wind. So the wind blows hardest at night, unfortunately, where we need the energy the least. So there's a huge imperative to store that energy. There's also a huge imperative to continue to deliver liquid fuels for transportation. So you're probably aware that we have electric vehicles, and they will be increasingly deployed over the coming years and decades, but there's a limit to what you can do with them. It's going to be a long time before we have electric Class 8 trucks and aircraft and so forth. So this is a technology of taking the energy in off-peak wind that otherwise would have been wasted, and using a series of 5 different chemical processes to produce high-grade liquid fuel.
Wow, okay, that's obviously distributed through the existing infrastructure.
Right.
Okay, that sounds promising.
Yep.
Okay, so how much money is required?
Well, that's a tough question, because what this guy wisely understands that if this works, it's going to work. In other words, if this essentially replaces gasoline and diesel over a period of the next 20 or 30 or 50 years, this is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar investment over a very long period of time. You can just imagine how much infrastructure exists currently in terms of the extraction and refinement and distribution of liquid fuels. So he wisely understands that this needs to work in baby steps. This needs to work in the laboratory. He's very close to being able to produce a gallon a day of this. When you think about that, you go, well, how exciting is that? Well, this just needs to be proven. Once this is proven that this works, he's very close to having this thing working in the laboratory. All of these processes are perfectly workable. They've been proven individually to work. He will eventually succeed with this, but he needs, I think, a couple $1 million to finish off what he's doing in the laboratory, and then to grow this to a megawatt, to 100 megawatts, et cetera, over a period of time is going to require an enormous amount of money. But at this point, I think a couple $1 million will get him to the next step, and will buy the investor a nice chunk of this company. He's he's not a greedy guy. He's a scientist, and he's very interested in getting this done.
All right, sounds good. So for someone who'd like to find out more about this, how can they do that?
Just come to the website twogreenenergy.com and hit contact. I'll get right back to them.
Very good.
Okay.